One of our favorite ways to propagate lupins is through cuttings. This way, you get a direct copy of the mother plant. We do a lot of seed collecting and a lot of growing lupins from seeds, but this is one of the easiest ways. And now's the time to do it.
Ta-da! And I already started. So I'm just going to show you how it's done. It's actually very easily. Over here, I have some lupins that's finished. And notice the stem here, I haven't cut it way back. So there's an old stem here, and then on the side there's like a side shoot here, and that can easily just be broken off.
Yeah, it's like a bigger piece.
If I can here, there we go.
Than just a regular side shoot.
And notice I don't use the shears or anything. It's actually easy to just break it off. And then it has a lot of foliage. So what I do, then I take my shears here, just remove most of the foliage so it doesn't use time on producing new foliage, but producing those lovely roots we need. And then I just have my pot here. You can use like potting soil, garden soil, whatever soil you have. And I just place them down there like this on the edge, notice, because then later on it's easy to get them out. I keep it watered, and then I put a few, maybe around like 4 in each, and I make a bunch because sometimes they do not with nature, you never know how many of them root, but these ones are pretty good at lupins. I have really good experience with that. And I keep it watered. I place it in our unheated greenhouse away from direct sun. And depending on, now it's beginning of August, so they might have roots before winter, but the later I make these ones, I just let them be until in the early spring, and then I'm for sure that I see some roots, or the signs can be that you have a new green foliage coming. Then it's a sign that it's rooted, and then you can plant them directly out in the garden. And as Alan said, then it will be a true copy of the mother plant, which I think is really great.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I put them there on the side is because once they start making their roots, if you were to stick 2 or 3 cuttings in the middle, the roots are going to join together, make a big ball, and it's going to be really quite difficult to get them out. If you put them on the edge, they're much easier to pull out of the pot when they're ready to plant into the garden next spring. Yeah. Shall we take a few more?
Yeah, let's do that. And also, if you don't have a greenhouse, you can also stick them maybe in your garden some area, just not directly sunlight. Do keep it watered. And or if you just want to have in bigger pots, clay pots, you can also put them there. Just keep it watered and keep an eye on them. If you have slugs, that's why it's nice to have it on a shelf in here, a little hidden in the greenhouse. Sometimes in the early, or also in the summer, you can do it throughout the whole season actually. And it takes me around 4 to 8 weeks depending on how hot it is and how much you water when it starts to make those roots. But let's make another one here. I have another stem here.
Let me come in. Let's show us one that we can't do, for example. Let me see what do we got under here. Well, show us one that we can do.
This one here is again like another new foliage, like it almost looks like a little bump. So I just pull it off like that. And then I just remove some of the foliage here.
So you can see, show us that little bump again.
So it has almost like a little growth, or like...
Exactly, so that's like what we're looking for.
So there's like another one.
That one at the top could work.
That one could be pulled off. Even further down there's a big one, but I would take some of all this extra foliage away because we do not want it to produce more foliage. So again, and I haven't compacted the soil in this pot, just a few handfuls. And the bigger the pot, you don't have to worry about there's not enough soil. So I do have like a good portion, like a good size pot to have it, so it really has some time. You don't want to repot them and disturb them while they are producing these new roots. And they might look a little soggy here in the beginning, but just keep them watered, not over water, so it's a little balanced. But as long as a sign could be if there's like the surface starts to like dry out, I would definitely either spray it or take a little water. I wouldn't fertilize or anything since this is also potting soil. But then keep an eye on it and use pots that has drainage hole. Otherwise they will really be overwatered and drown in too much water. But in this way it's just like new free lupins you can plant. Even if you have some special colors that's not really hardy in your area, I have my salmon star, definitely they say it's not really hardy, so I'm definitely gonna take some cuttings, and I hope that will come back next year then.
Exactly, so there you go, lupin cuttings.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Moin!